Hey everyone, it's the Brain Body Bible Coach. I wanted to talk a little bit about ebbs, or you can also call them dips. I like to call them growth spurts because every time I go through a growth spurt, I always up level to a new level of calm in the brain. I'm actually going through a growth spurt right now, and it's not fun, as we all know, and you get symptoms and they're loud, and the pops or those negative thoughts are very loud, and sometimes we can have a lot of physical symptoms in growth spurts. But every time we go through one, it does teach us something. It can teach us all kinds of things about what we're letting go of. Why are we resisting things? You can be triggered a lot in a growth spurt. It's a very normal part of the process. It's how our brain heals. And these are the neuroplastic days. These are the days where we're really making a difference to our brain. So when we're in these dips or growth spurts, it's very important to remember your 5 pillars, like DNRS teaches in brain retraining. It's really important to ask for help if you are really having a tough time with symptoms. It's really important to ask for help. Take everything off of your plate that you can, especially if you are early stages of recovery, and really focus on the 5 pillars. Sometimes people have a really, really tough time doing rounds when they go through these dips or growth spurts. If you can at all possible, make sure you are doing your rounds. However, I had quite a few growth spurts where it was just too activating to do rounds. So I just settled for mood elevation and catching all of my pops or pathways of the past, and always redirecting them to positive emotion. Usually in growth spurts, it's really hard to think positive, so I would always just redirect to, a positive song or, something in my environment that, stood out to me. I would orient. Those were the types of things that I did to, come out of some of these pops. But do the best you can. You're not going to catch all of your pops, and that's okay. You're still rewiring. But this is the time where you're really making a difference in your brain. And another thing that helped me too, when I go through growth spurts, especially early on in recovery, I kept a note card of when I would go in them. And every time I came out of them, I would write when I came out of them. And I would say, look, I did it. I got through it. I came out of it on the other side. I'm more resilient than when I went into this particular growth spurt. And every time I would go back into another dip, I would look at my note card and remind myself, look, I've come out of them every single time. This one's not going to be any different. And I would always remind myself, I'm up leveling, and this is temporary. And now when I go through growth spurts, they're nowhere near as intense as they were. They're still uncomfortable, and they don't last as long. And as you continue on the journey of recovery, it will get a little easier with time. And I also feel like at this point, in later stages of recovery, when you go through growth spurts, I feel like you can see the teaching opportunities from them a lot easier, and you can also separate yourself from your pops and your its a lot easier than you can early on. So, but keep going. Remember, the best thing you can do is take everything off your plate, really focus on the 5 pillars as best as you can, and know that you will come out of each particular growth spurt stronger than before, more resilient than before. And remember that every growth spurt you have is building your nervous system capacity, and it's creating a big container to handle more and more stressors in life. And each time you go through one, it builds your resilience. And after we come out of recovery, there'll be many things that we just will feel like bumping the roads in life, right? Because we've built such a big container of resiliency. And that's the goal here. It's not to get rid of symptoms, it's to grow our nervous system capacity for the life of authenticity that we want. It's to build resilience in our nervous systems, and it's to make these massive containers, right, where we can handle all things that come our way in life. Because as we know, life will not be perfect, and there will be life stressors, there will be more trauma ahead. But when we have a nervous system that is regulated and has a big capacity for resilience, we'll be able to move through life with less fear and more empowerment and more resilience and more capacity. What a glorious, glorious thing that is. And I'm so grateful for this journey and learning how to build nervous system capacity. So keep going. You've got this. And yes, reach out if you need to. Thanks. Bye-bye.